How is it going then, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel. Been a couple of days now since we have last uploaded. I hope you've all been doing good. Let me know in the comment section below how your current FUT Champions record is looking. Do want to say thank you for the support recently. Just a quick update as well. We will be moving our videos to 4 to 5 times a week instead of every single day, but they will still be at 5 PM UK time when we do upload. To stay a bit more tuned for details on that in the future. What we've got for you today is something very different. It's very long. We did it on live stream. It's a discussion with Tantei, Felix. Please check him out. A link will be in the description for his Twitter and Twitch. He does stream as well, where we discuss the Kurt ban, along with everything that's been going on recently in the FIFA scene and things like that. I asked you guys over on Twitter whether you wanted this uploaded on Spotify or YouTube, and you said YouTube, so here it is. It's just going to be taken directly from the stream. There's not going to be any edits directly on it, so it will be the whole thing. You will have some gameplay of just FUT Champions from the weekend before from the stream on there. If you do enjoy it, please do let me know by dropping a like. You can also subscribe to the channel. One of the things that I will kind of say, guys, if you do want to leave a comment on your thoughts on this, you are more than welcome to, but please keep it civil, keep it respectful. I just want a nice discussion about this. If you can't have a nice discussion, then you know where the door is. All right, let's crack on with it though. I hope you enjoy. Felix, what are your original thoughts on the whole banning situation and, you know, whatnot with Kurt? I mean, we obviously know that Kurt got banned from competitive FIFA. Was it November last year? I think it was. So we won't really touch on that too much. But what about the account? What do you kind of think has gone on, and what are your thoughts on it?
It's a tough one, really. Like, all I'm seeing is free Kurt, but while I don't like the fact that he has been banned, I think you can't really be surprised, and I don't know if there is a lot to argue against just because of the things he says and he keeps saying. Yeah, he's had multiple warnings as well, in form of different kind of bans, copyright strikes on his Twitch and YouTube, which I don't understand, by the way, because why would you copyright strike him if he's literally doing the same as every other content creator? It's just about the things he says, but that's not to do with copyright. I don't know. I just you can't go out there, wage war at EA. Basically, those were his words back in the day.
Yeah.
Which he's kind of backtracked a little bit and said, like, "Come on, man, how can you take it that much out of context?" It's just poor choice of words. He's speaking about exterminating the rats, and then at the same time says he's not threatened anyone.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just a bit of a weird situation. I wish he wasn't banned. I wish EA handled the situation differently, because from their point of view, didn't go well, did it? Because all they do is make him more and more famous and help him grow.
Well, I mean, in terms of tonight's occurrence as well of EA servers going down and, you know, that Lizard Squad, whatever the name is, taking responsibility for it, saying that it was them. I understand why EA have banned him, because the way I think a lot of people don't look at it, and the way you've got to look at it is, if Kerr, I mean, he's the second biggest streamer, you know, a massive YouTuber as well. He's got such a backing from everyone that if you go and load up Twitch for the first time as a FIFA viewer, or, you know, you just picked up FIFA and you want to start looking into it a little bit more detail, you obviously go to the bigger numbers and you take a look at them that way. If Kurt's up there and you join him and he's calling them rats and doing this and doing that, obviously it doesn't look good for EA and them as a whole. What people don't seem to understand, you know, you say about how are they getting him done for copyright? It's EA's game. They can stop us from broadcasting this game and making money from it at any point. If they wanted to shut my stream down, they want to shut anyone's stream down or whatever, they have the ability to do it, because they're the ones that make the game. Make the game. It's their, you know, their game, that sort of thing. That's the reason why the copyright is. I mean, we'll just quickly have a look at the chat and see what's going on there. Edza says, should his FUT account on YouTube be left alone? I personally agree for him to be banned from events and any direct links from EA, but he should do whatever he wants as long as his platform doesn't break Twitch guidelines. So that's kind of what I've just said regarding that as well, is that it is EA's game. I think was it Nintendo? When Nintendo released a game or they released their console, they actually stopped anyone from making any content on that game. Was it Nintendo? Was it, Tantei? Can you remember?
I have never heard of this, if I'm honest.
It was Nintendo when they brought out the Switch, or it was a certain game. It might have even been a Pokemon game. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But there was someone out there that basically stopped anyone from creating a video or streaming the game. So any video that got put up, it get put down instantly because it's their game. They have the right to do that.
Oh, actually, that does ring a bell, but I can't quite remember. Was it Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee or something?
It's something like that.
I'm completely off there. I don't know. It's just
yeah, it was something.
I think I've heard this before, though. Actually,
I mean, so to answer it, Eds, yeah, they have the ability to do that. Is it right of them to do that? Maybe not. I mean, obviously he's put a lot of time, a lot of money into the game, that sort of thing. I mean, the way he was going about it, like, I mean, I know he hasn't threatened them directly, but we've got to understand in today's day and age. I mean, I suppose we could raise awareness to it. Look at Caroline Flack, massive celebrity out there. Obviously, had a massive mistake go on, accident, whatever it was at the end of the day. Obviously, she was getting, put into a jury court and all that sort of thing for what happened. And then the British media literally just tore her to shreds and obviously made her feel like absolute shit. I don't swear too often, but made her feel like shit, and she ended up killing herself. Kurt's not doing that to that degree. But if Kurt is saying, this about Corey, this about Zaro, and then he's not telling his community to go and do this, go and do that, but they obviously will. At the end of the day, Kurt, I don't know if he said in his latest video, he holds his hands up. He doesn't realise what influence he had on the community because people follow his actions even though he doesn't tell them to do it. Corey and Zaro and whoever else that works at EA, you don't know what's going through their mind, and EA have a duty of care to protect their staff members. And I think that's probably what the main reason for it is. Would you agree?
I think that's exactly what I said to someone as well. That was messaging on Twitter. Like, if you got abused whilst doing your job by customers or whoever, you would expect your employer, the company you work for, you would expect them to help you.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect their employees from further abuse. I just don't think banning Kurt from playing the game is going to be the way to do that.
No, I think the way they've gone about it is wrong. I mean, if you're not a massive League of Legends fan, there was a guy called Tyler One that was very similar to Kurt. He was a very toxic player, would flame against his teammate, against everyone, and he actually got permanently banned. And every account that he would make, League of Legends kept banning it. They'd IP ban him. They'd do loads of things to ban him, right? So obviously that. He was kind of out, and they actually gave him a chance to redeem himself and said, look, because he was pulling in ridiculous numbers, look, we're going to give you a chance. And he kind of went back on like a rehab sort of scheme, and he then, I think it wasn't that long ago, I'm not massively into League nowadays, but he got invited to a League of Legends, like not a charity match, but where they get like people in the scene that aren't pro players to like go and have a game, like what obviously like Bates and that have done, not in real life football, something similar to that. And he came back and redeemed himself. Could EA have done something similar? I personally think they've gone about this the wrong way because he's such a massive guy and respected guy in the community. Can you imagine if they actually, I don't know, had a conversation with him and said, all right, then we want to do better in this game. We don't appreciate what you're doing and, saying this about our staff members and whatnot. But if they actually had a conversation with him and said, we want to work with you and work out what we can do to improve this game. We do value your input. We just need you to tone it down. Another one. Could that have done better for them? Quite possibly. I don't know if that's something you think could be.
I think so, to be honest. I quite respect Kurt's opinion on the game, right? I think he knows what he's talking about. He talks a lot of sense when he's talking about FIFA. It's just the way that he gets his message across that gets him in trouble every time.
Yeah.
You can't just bash the game like he does, or more importantly, just bash the company and their employees. That's not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah.
But you can talk shit about the game. To be fair, you can call it a garbage game. You can call it AIDS, whatever you want. But when it starts getting personal, that's when we're going to get a problem, and that's where you're not helping yourself, you're not helping the game, and you're not helping the community.
Yeah. I think Tom's just put in, why does EA care enough to improve their game? All they care about is dollar, dollar, dollar. And I agree with that because for me, I mean, you guys, you've seen the accounts that I play on and that. From the start of the year, I have not put a single penny on from, literally launch day. What I find is one of the issues is that a lot of these people that are supporting Kurt and going and calling them rats and whatever else you're calling them, if you then load up FIFA every night, right? And once a week you put money onto the game or whatever, you going and abusing someone then isn't going to make the game better. For you to really make a point, you give constructive criticism to the people that it can get to, and you also stop funding them by buying these packs and these promos and supporting them in that way. Because at the end of the day, all EA look at really is the numbers. And if their money is in the green and not in the red, they're doing a fantastic job and they keep doing what they're doing. I mean, would you agree on that? That's one of the issues as well?
The second it starts affecting their bottom line, right? That's when they'll start to think about why that is and try and correct it. My suspicion would be that they start to try and correct it the wrong way in terms of pumping out different promos, more packs, whatever, just taking that approach instead of actually improving the gameplay.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that it would benefit them to just make a better game. Like they say, why would they care to make a better game? All they care about is money. Which game would you be happy? Would you be more happy to spend money on? A game that you enjoy, a game that's good, that you have fun playing, or a game that you think is trash? I know where I'm standing on that point.
Can you imagine?
I'd much rather spend money on a game that I think is good and I'm enjoying playing.
Can you imagine how much money they'd make even more though if they actually made a game with good gameplay, good servers, and good?
Yeah, that's
promos?
exactly what I'm. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It'd be
crazy,
crazy,
so much
wouldn't
more
it?
money. I just don't know why they don't understand this.
Yeah. Yeah, Neil's just said if the game is good, people will know how to improve as well. And if the game is broken, they make more money. Possibly, yeah. I suppose if the game's broken, then does it mean that people don't know how to improve, and they go and spend more packs, more points, to try and improve that way? I mean, that could obviously be what people kind of come to as a whole. And gameplay's bad, I'll go and spend more points. I'll pack someone big. My team will get upgraded. I'll get a few more wins in foot champs, which I don't necessarily think is a problem. For one of the things that really frustrates me is that Kurt is a massive guy in the community. I respect him a lot. He's a fantastic FIFA player. The competitive ban was obviously fine. I don't really think anyone could argue with that. I mean, he knew that was going to happen at some point. He was walking a very tight line, and that we knew that. One of the things that frustrates me more is that you've got a guy that probably does push the line and is a little bit too aggressive in his words and what he says, and gets banned and gets his Ultimate Team account banned, and they're trying to copyright him and allow him to not upload videos, not stream. But then you've also got people out there that are representing organisations, that are representing whoever.
Another one.
And are trying to tell people to go and buy coins. When we all know that buying coins on FIFA, back in the day, you could get away with it. At the minute, if you go and buy coins, the chances of you getting your account banned is so much higher than what it used to be. So when you've got YouTube influencers out there and Twitch streamers and whatnot advertising coins, that to me is worse than what Kurt is doing, because you're almost saying to them, go and buy these coins. Go and buy these packs. 2 seconds, boys. I'm just going to get this back on. Go and buy these coins. Go and buy these. Go and buy these coins from these places, and go and spend a good amount of money doing it. That's worse, because if you're a 14-year-old lad and it's your birthday, and you say to your mum, "I want this for my birthday," you buy it. 3 days later, your account gets banned. How would that make you feel? Do you think that's worse than actually what Kurt's doing?
I wouldn't say it's worse, because I don't know. At the end of the day, right? You're violating terms of service.
Yeah.
If you buy coins, I think there's no debate in that. So you just should not do it. You should not advertise it as well, I think. But you're not insulting and abusing someone. And even though like Kurt says, he's not encouraging this behavior. And while that may be true, while he thinks, look, I don't want others to do this, he's such an influential person in the position he's in with all these views he has. He has to be aware of the fact that he's kind of an idol to them, and they'll start following and doing what he does. And when thousands of people literally abuse Corey under a tweet he's done about Kobe Bryant or whatever, how do you think that makes him feel? You've just mentioned the situation with Caroline Flack, so I definitely think that one's worse.
Yeah,
rather than the buying coins. It's a bit of a weird comparison, because it's two very different things.
Yeah, probably I didn't word it right. It's obviously wrong what Kurt is doing, yes, but then I also feel like they're going after him. To me, it does seem very much like a single targeted attack as well, directly on Kurt in a way, because there are other people out there that call them rats. There's other streamers out there that do it. Some of the bigger streamers do. Yes, they're not, again, I mean, a few people have said names. but not all of them. But they do target EA as the company. But I almost feel like, well, if you're going to do this on one, why is it that one person's broke terms of service and you're banning them, and you're doing all this? Why aren't you going after the other people that are doing it as well? Then, like, do you not think that's is there any reason why they're not? Is it that they can't be bothered? They haven't got the tools. They're putting their effort into just stopping Kurt. I'm not. I don't know. I just feel like, as I said, I do. I understand their ban on Kurt, and I would probably be in the same shoes if it was my responsibility. I'd probably do the exact same thing. But I am just saying that you've almost got to. You can't be one rule for one and not the other. I suppose that's the best analogy there.
I mean, yeah, equal treatment for all should be applied.
Yeah.
I think maybe the difference is the fact that Kurt does it on such a regular basis, and he's had so many warnings before, and he just doesn't stop. So they like focus on him. If
Yeah.
others kept doing the exact same as he does, like just non-stop abuse EA in whatever way, and behave the way he does, maybe they go after them as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anyone else out there bashing them in that sort of manner as he does, with
No,
a
definitely not. Definitely not.
comparable or just a really big amount of viewers as well.
There isn't anyone else that does it to his level. But then, I mean, I don't know the comparison, but just from what other people are saying is that apparently what he says, and compared to what other people say in other games, is actually nowhere near. But that's obviously a different topic. Hazard has just said, Tech said that the FIFA was a bad at the tournament. Yeah, and people said, oh, he's going to get banned for that. Well, they didn't probably appreciate what he said, but they can't ban him for speaking his mind on that the game's just bad. He's not if Kurt was doing all of this, right, and he was calling them rats and everything, but everything was targeted at EA as a company and not an individual, I think the ban would be completely undeserved if everything was just targeted at the company, EA, not individuals. Would you agree with that, Felix?
Definitely, yeah. The fact that he's made it personal and gone after single people, just, I don't know, that just makes it so much worse. If you just go after a company, that there is no single person that you have in mind when saying that. It's just got a different kind of meaning to it, I suppose.
Definitely. What do you think to the so-called hacking tonight? If it was, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it actually was the Lizard Squad. I've never heard of them before either. I don't know who they are, what they do, if I'm honest.
Oh.
I don't know if it was them or if they're just trying to get some attention,
Yeah.
Just like, that's not going to get us anywhere. It is kind of funny, to be honest. Like, people are getting a laugh out of it, but what's that going to do for the community? How is that going to benefit us? Just because I just don't see it. I don't see it doing anything.
I don't feel like it does. I mean, one of the things, I had a conversation with someone last night. One of the things that I kind of do want to touch on, I don't agree with Kurt's actions in the individual target attacks and everything. Do I feel like EA have kind of walked into this trap themselves? Whether it was going to be Kurt or whether it was going to be someone else, do I feel like EA have a role to play in this? I absolutely do, because I personally feel like the communication that we get and the game that they produce year in, year out, and the content that they give us, it asks for people to, they will leave constructive criticism. There are people in the EA Game Changer program that say, we provide feedback in the Discord that they have, and nothing gets said and nothing gets done about it. They almost feed their own toxicity.
Another one.
I don't know if that's something you agree with. I mean, I don't know what the chat thinks.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you. Just, they're notoriously bad at handling literally any situation. I've talked about this on 2 different podcasts now. The way they go about it when they make mistakes, like with the pre-release Team of the Week's prime example, the accidentally upgraded Europa League Road to the final cards. I think it's just like, what are they doing? Do they not think before they do things?
Yeah.
Just they shoot themselves in the foot so many times, and it's the same thing with the toxicity they breed in their community by not only with the game being bad, but just the way it is structured as well. Because all there is on FIFA right now is literally competitive game modes. You've got rivals, which is competitive. You've got champs, which is competitive. You play for access to event qualifiers in champs as well. Like, you get the quote unquote best rewards in that game mode. All there is literally this game is just about winning. the fun aspect of just, oh, I'm just going to play a game. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. It's not really there anymore, and that just promotes toxic playstyle, toxic behavior. It's still on the community themselves, to be fair, to act that way, and just trying to be the better man, I suppose, and just not feed into it, not try and let them get you, and just not be toxic. That's still in your hands.
Yeah.
But they definitely kind of feed that mentality and that behavior with the way they go about this game and with the way they communicate as well. Because just the typical EA thing, radio silence about several topics. If you just tell us, look, we're aware of this, we're working on it for whatever reason, it might take a few days. I'm fine with that. I might not be
Another
happy
one.
that it's going to take a few days,
Yeah.
but at least I know you've acknowledged it and you're doing something about it. So I'm happy.
The th-
Just talk to us, man. Talk to us. It would help us. It would help you as well so much in every single aspect. I just don't know why they don't do it, because it's not hard to literally put out 2 or 3 tweets. It takes like 5 minutes out of your day.
the,
You just got to make sure you don't make another fuck up.
The
Which, to
thing
be
that
fair,
annoys me as well, though, right, is that we all do say they need to talk to us and communicate us with us more, and which they do. They've been absolutely terrible at that over the last, the last few months on FIFA 20. However, can we all remember how many weeks ago was it that they tweeted saying they're aware that their servers have been terrible recently? You're gonna start experiencing questions after your games to ask how the gameplay was, and we're aware of the issue on Overload Bullside, and we are working on it. What else have they said since then? If my missus isn't happy with I'm not doing the dishes and I'm not doing the ironing, and I say I'm aware of that issue, I'll start working on it, but I don't start doing the dishes and I don't start doing the ironing, what does that do? It doesn't make the situation any better. They have done this multiple times, in my opinion. They've tweeted out, or they've said to us, they're aware that the servers are a problem, or that Overload Bullside is a problem, or drop back, or whatever it is, but they don't do anything about it. And they just kind of go, well, if we acknowledge it, they'll get off our backs for a couple of weeks and they'll forget about it. How long have people been waiting for their Twitch Prime packs? And they've said, oh, we're aware of it. And they've posted every couple of days. It's taken a little bit longer than normal. Why? What are you
yeah.
actually doing?
Well, to be fair,
fix
I
this?
don't understand the issue with the Twitch Prime packs. What's taking them so long? The thing is, when they say we're working on it, we're aware of it, we don't know if they actually do, because we don't see what's going on their end.
Yeah.
If the way you put it makes it seem like when you mention it, like I know this is a problem, I'm working on it, and then nothing happens, that actually makes it worse. Because if you, like the example you used, if your missus says, "Look, you're not doing the dishes, I'm not happy," and you just go like, "Yeah, I know," and then do nothing, that makes it worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. I mean, F19's just said they've set up new servers in Europe. Yeah, they have. And they tweeted that out after a few days of setting these servers up. Has it fixed anything? No. Gameplay last weekend was probably the worst that I've ever had. I searched for a game on Foot Champs any time after like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. I mean, you've seen it in the stream, boys. 9 a.m. on Fridays when I stream, the servers are fine for me. There's not as many people on. When it comes to me streaming on the Saturday and the Sunday night, I'm getting orange bars. I run an internet test. I'm getting 13 ms, 100 and something download, 30 upload, and I'm getting orange bars or red bars. How does that work? They can talk the talk, but you've got to be able to walk the walk. Anything that you say, you've got to back it up with actions, and at the minute, they're just not. So yeah, Kurt was wrong in doing what he did and the way he goes about it. But the problem is that people, they said on this tweet, which I found quite laughable, go to the FIFA forums to leave feedback. How many of you guys have gone to the forum, left feedback, which a lot of people have said that they have, and been banned from the forum because you left feedback that was, constructive criticism and they didn't like it?
Another one.
How can you go and leave feedback and get banned for something that doesn't
That is true, to be fair. Like the second you mention scripting, handicap, momentum, those sort of things, if you just say, "Look, I believe this is in the game. I've experienced this," you could be the most neutral and rational person trying to get your point across on this
Another
topic.
one.
You'll get banned anyway, because I don't know why. It's just, or at least have the decency to say, "Look, we understand your concerns, but we can assure you this sort of stuff is not in our game. You might be experiencing these things due to this or that, whatever," and then just, respectfully answer the question, shut him down basically, and then just close the thread. Don't ban the person.
yeah.
That's just dumb. It's the same as like the EA Direct Communications account on Twitter is blocking people. This is an official EA account used for communication. You can't block people. Someone got blocked. Like it was in Kurt's video as well. I watched it just now. He got blocked for criticizing the icon swaps concept. He said, "Look, it's bad. It's been a failure. I don't like it." Just got banned for it. Got blocked.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Why? I just don't understand.
It's
And
just
they are honestly confused about people being toxic, people not liking their game. You're making it worse, EA. Just not with the way you make this game necessarily, but just with the way you behave as well.
yeah.
I mean, you gotta set an example for how it should be done.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And you think for however much money they make in these microtransactions, and that is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, my honest feeling of it is that they know that these microtransactions are going to stop very. It's going to be banned very soon. I mean, Belgium have already banned it. France are apparently looking into it. I think the US have said something as well. It isn't going to be long before a lot of these countries have realised that these microtransactions, especially in a 3+ game, which means that, a 10-year-old, if they've got the mom's credit card details on, can basically go and put 500 quid down the drain in the space of, what, half an hour? Like, how quick can you get through packs? Like, and it's on a 3+ game where the parent supervision, if they're not there over it, they might not realise what's happening. I think they realise at the minute they're biding their time basically, and they're trying to make the most of now, and that's why they're promo every weekend. How many promos have we had in a row now? That's been absolutely like, it's just ridiculous. I've said
I
this.
think it's four. Is it 4 in a row?
It's
5 in a
something
row?
like that. My opinion is it's not a promo. It's not a promotion. When if you Google promotion, a promotion is either something that's limited edition, discount. I mean, yeah, I know limited edition. The cards are limited edition, but whatever. And something that's got a discount. It's got money off what it should be. We're releasing a few new cards of players that have already got special cards in game. How many times have we seen these cards that are the same? Like they've got a different, like this one, or they changed the position of them. The Ben Yedder, he's gone to right wing. Is that needed? Probably not. I mean, all right, there's some cool ones where they've got a stronger weak foot or something or whatever. But you're given a promo every weekend when there's no need to, and all they're doing basically is going, let's make as much money as we can now because we might not be making this in 3 years' time. Do you think that's kind of where their heads at?
It's tough to judge for me, to be honest. Like, I don't know what's going on. I hope the loot boxes get banned.
Yeah.
Because it is gambling. I don't care what anyone tells me. Like you could make the argument to say, "Oh, you know what you're getting. It says in the pack you're getting 30 items, and all of them are players in the ultimate pack." Well, that is true. You kind of do know what you're getting, but do you really? Because I want to know that the pack odds as well. They're just bollocks.
Yeah.
If you look at the pack odds, it never gives you the specific ratings. It is like 90 plus is where it's capped, for example. For a 100k pack, it tells you 90 plus 2.8%, shapeshifters 2.8%, gold 82 plus player 99%. I don't, honestly, no offense, I don't give a shit about 82 plus rated players from a 100k pack. They're all worthless. The best thing is, if I've said this yesterday as well, if you read the pack description, the most unique top rated players, all in a single pack, includes 24 items, all players, all gold, all rare. And you go to pack odds and it tells you gold 75 plus player, 100%. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Well,
Yeah.
why did you tell me this? I know that. I can tell from the pack description. It makes no sense.
I mean,
And in the end of the day, it is gambling because you do not know what you're getting. I do not know the odds of packing Ronaldo. I have no idea. I do not know the odds of packing an inform or an icon. You do not tell me that. These pack odds are literally just as unspecific as they could be, and they just put them there because they were forced to, and just, they didn't want to give it away. Because if you knew the pack odds, you definitely would not buy packs.
yeah.
It would be ludicrous to do so.
I mean, I think there was some scientist or whatever did a study on where he spent, like €2,000, I think it was, and he tracked like the pack rate, and it was obviously terrible. There's a few ways around it. You either ban FIFA points altogether, or the only other way, which I don't want it to go there, is to basically you can buy a card for money, which obviously would make the pay to win even worse. Can you imagine if you could buy a player moment, a prime moments R9 for £890. Like that would kind of be the only other way around, making sure that they're all transparent. One thing that obviously that's never going to happen. I don't want that to happen.
£890 for Prime Moments and Nine, bargain, to be
Well,
honest.
yeah, it does, given the current pack rate, doesn't it? Let's be honest, definitely.
Imagine how many packs you would have to buy to be able to afford him. 890, you're not even having a sniff at a loan card.
No, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous.
There is no other video game where you can spend tens of thousands of dollars and still get nowhere close to having access to all the contents in the game.
I heard, I can't remember who it said. I think it's either the NFL or NBA. When like at the minute, we can get like untradeable duplicates. Like someone tweeted me, I think, or put it in the Discord, or I can't remember. They did the Player of the Month Neymar SBC, right? And then they opened up an untradeable pack from another SBC, and they packed normal Neymar. And it was like, what can you do with that now other than putting it into another SBC fodder? It's something on one of the NFL, NBA, I can't remember, so don't quote me on it. But it's one of them where it's like, if you've already got a certain player, they won't be packed in your, like, say, red rewards again. So at the minute we can open our red Foot Champions rewards, and you could get Bastos over and over again. You don't have that. That's not possible. And I mean, the Foot Champions reward system as a whole is pretty busted. I think that's definitely a discussion. I mean, in my opinion, the game, no FIFA points, and it should be the better players are guaranteed to get a certain rating, a certain player in Team of the Week, or anything like that. And unfortunately, yeah, if you're not great at the game, you're not going to get rewarded in that. However, the way they've gone this year, I think they've actually released some really, really good grindable cards that you can get. Some of the icon swaps have been okay if you wanted to grind them. Some of the free cards in the objectives have been okay. So they're going in the right direction with that. I just feel like the reward system and obviously the pack rate and everything like that just needs to be completely revamped.
Yeah, I don't like it as well. I think, like you said, depending on where you finish, you should be guaranteed a minimum rating. But I do not think, however, that they should cap the rating for the lower ranks. Like you should still be able to get a red Ronaldo from Silver
I'm not saying cap so you can't get whoever. Kingpin's just put in the chat, so the rich get richer. Well, not that the rich get richer, but because if you ban FIFA points, right, and you make it so if you finish Elite 1, you're going to get from that Team of the Week, whatever the Team of the Week is, you will get an 88 plus that week or something. Or when there's a promo on, they put the promos in the Foot Champions rewards as well, in like the player picks as well. Then it's not that the rich get richer because there's no points to buy, so you can't have a God Squad from day one. And if you're good enough at the game, you should be rewarded for being good enough. Isn't that like the whole purpose of a game, especially on a competitive game at the minute? If you're good, you want to get rewarded for it. You don't want to see you hit. How many pro players this year have put their tweets out, this was my top 100 rewards, and then you'll see little Timmy who hit silver 1, gold 2 and packed Ronaldo. I'm not saying they shouldn't be able to pack Ronaldo, of course they should, but that top 100 player that hit, top 100 should be guaranteed to get something that's worthwhile. Doesn't have to be, people go, oh, Lewandowski's not a good pick. Well, no, it is because it's a high-rated card. If you've got Lewandowski or someone similar every week, I don't think you can moan with that because it's a high-rated card. Monthlies is obviously something that people are putting in the chat. Should they bring monthlies back? What do you think on that?
Well, I kind of like the monthlies just because of the anticipation. I used to get shafted in them every single time as well, so the maybe give like a little additional thing for monthlies. Not go back to the just scrap the weekly packs and just give us 40 monthly items for top 100 or whatever. Just a little something on top for wherever you finish monthly. I think would be alright. I like the weekly pick system. I just think it needs a bit of a revamp.
Yeah.
Like I hate the fact that I can pick a red inform in my player pick, and then the very next pick he shows up again. What's that about? Like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't want him twice.
Yeah, I think that's it's a bit annoying, isn't it, when they give you that kind of option. What we'll do now, boys, if you've got any particular questions or any topics that you want us to go through and discuss, get some questions in the chat now and we will have a look for you. Ubaid, being Elite 2-3 both last year and this year, I know people who hit Gold 1-3 and have much better teams than me. You do not get rewarded for grinding this game, which is a big issue. Yeah, I would agree with that. There's no guaranteed that the more games you play, the better your team is going to get. I started a Road to Glory account 2 weeks ago, and I've already got a 1.5 million coin team. Who can say that? Like, and someone now might have been playing this game from day one, might be a Elite 3, Gold 2 player and only has a 4 million coin team. I mean, you could argue there's more things you can do. You can trade and whatnot. For me, I don't really like trading, so I like to play the game. You should get rewarded for playing the game. Squad fitness, get it gone. That doesn't need to be there. Contracts, do they really need to be there? I find like a lot of the consumable items are just a way for EA to like, put more stuff in packs. Would you agree with that?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fitness contracts, the coaching staff kind of things, the stadiums, the balls. Don't know, man. It's just pack fillers, to be honest.
Definitely. What has just said for monthlies, you can have top 30 in form of the month, and you get player picks based on your monthly rank. Could be an option for definite. Could be an option. I think,
yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to actually get the reward system bang on. I don't think there's a way that you can get everyone happy with it, but I feel like it certainly can make it better. How is it possible? Some of the players had Hullet after 2 weeks, so that's what Damjan's just said. So for anyone to have Hullet after 2 weeks, they've literally put on probably £3,000, something similar to that. Get Hullet, would you agree, Felix?
If you have decent pack luck, then yeah.
Yeah.
If it sucks, £3,000's not going to be enough to make you 6 million coins or whatever it was at the start of the game.
Yeah. Chico said dynamic pack weight. I didn't play for a while, and then during Team of the Year in one night, I packed Team of the Year VVD and Middle Henri in an hour. I would probably agree with that. Yeah, that if you step away from the game for a little while and then you come back, they seem to try and lure you in with better packs. Like you open a pack from rewards or something, and they give you something better to kind of get you in. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's in the game. Do you think that is as well, Felix?
You see it a lot on Twitter, don't you? Saying, "Oh, I've been off the game for a while. First pack I open when I'm back, I pack like an icon or something." That's happened to quite a few people. So there is an argument to be made that it is in the game. I don't know if it is. From my personal experience, like I don't get that kind of stuff. I bought a Nintendo Switch the other day and literally just spent an entire week playing Mario Kart and all that stuff and didn't even touch FIFA.
Yeah.
Went back on the game, did like an SPC and opened the pack, and I just got the usual garbage.
Yeah, I don't think a week's long enough, Felix. I think it has to be a month.
I think it's still down to luck, to be honest, in the end of the day. But there might be something that changes the pack weights depending on how active you are on the game and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know if it is or not. Like, basically impossible to find out, especially like if you're not super savvy about all the technology stuff and reading the codes and all that, which I can't do.
Yeah. Cowler's just put, to be fair, my mate for the past 2 months has been doing that. He's packed a player worth 300k plus from his packs whenever he comes back each time. That's crazy, isn't it? I mean, we'll quickly touch on it. Did you watch much of the Foot Champions Cup last weekend?
I watched pretty much all of it. Like,
really?
Yeah, I just had it on.
Well, have a nice snooze all weekend.
I had it on in the background and did things, so I didn't just fall unconscious or something. But there was quite a few games that were decent this time around, actually. Dasari against Mino was fun to watch. Dasari against Tex was fun to watch.
Yeah. How did you find it as a whole?
There were a couple of good games. I just hate the meta right now. It's just so boring to watch because everyone's just clogging the box with 12 defenders and like on the edge of the box, in the box. It's impossible to break down on a consistent basis, and I don't like the fact that the game is rewarding defensive and passive mentalities more than aggressive and attacking mentalities. It just makes for a bad viewing experience. And then of course, because it is EA, you've got loads of disconnects at the event, which, to be fair, it's not EA's fault that they got disconnected from the servers this time, because apparently, well, it is, but not in the same way as usually. It's not down to the servers. It is literally just down to the venue being known for having terrible internet.
Really?
Which makes me wonder, why do you choose it to hold an event where you rely on internet?
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
That'd be the first thing I look at. Oh, this thing's got shit internet. Let's go somewhere else so we don't get disconnects.
Well, one of the things, I mean, the gameplay in itself, I mean, we're not really going to talk on because my opinion at the minute, competitive FIFA is, if any of you've got insomnia and you're struggling to sleep, I think just whack the Foot Champions Cup on and I think you'll be asleep in 5 minutes or so. So that's a bit of advice for you there. The actual, one of the things that makes me laugh kind of I'm absolutely mesmerised by it, by the amount of pro FIFA players that have got no there's not really much personality in the scene. I don't know if it's because they're scared to say anything that might get them into trouble, and risks their their chance at playing at these events, or if it's just that we're so these pro FIFA players obviously sit in their room a lot and just play FIFA and talk to their mates, and that's about it. Why no one has the ability to get people excited? I mean, obviously Tex, at the weekend did do it a little bit, but no one has the ability to kind of like build a story and get people on board and build build a bit of an excitement on that front. Give me 2 seconds. Just sorry, wait for assist to come away with a prime. My G, thank you, my man. I appreciate you. And then,
can we get a Kingpin Sucks in chat?
Kingpin Sucks in chat. Thank you very much for the Twitch Prime, mate. I do appreciate you. How are you doing? But yeah, it amazes me. I don't know if you agree, but like whenever I watch other like competitive games, they all seem to have personalities and a bit more oomph behind them. I don't know if it's just because people are so scared that if they say anything, EA will just get the ban hammer out and go, "Yeah, you're banned from the next event." Do you think that's what kind of goes on in the mind, Felix?
Maybe a part of it. I think it definitely is part of it. Like, we've seen so many bans for people saying relatively harmless things in comparison.
Yeah.
So I think it is part of it. Maybe they're just a bit nervous in front of the camera and all that stuff. I don't know. We've got a few characters, to be fair. I quite enjoy the interviews from #Harry, #Tom, Tex. Those guys seem to be just authentic and comfortable in front of the camera.
I think
Like, they
Harry's
have a bit
just
of banter.
a one of a kind, isn't
They're there to have fun. Oh, hello. What is that for a copy pasta?
It's gone. It's gone.
Fucking hell.
It's gone. I wish Pro FIFA was Pro Rocket League. Let's have why people can admit that there was a no loss glitch. I know how to do it. It's also said the email today. We've got auto reply, but no answer. I mean, obviously the no loss glitch is just something that needs to be fixed. It definitely needs to be. It's just getting a bit ridiculous now. I mean, how many are you guys playing a weekend where you go 1-0 up or something, and something weird happens and everything? It's that was one Mighty Weapon Ellen said. But yeah, they definitely need to fix the no loss glitch for definite. There's no personality in the scene, hence why Kurt is such a cult figure at this point. I mean, there is a couple of personalities, but I feel like they're very scared to say anything that might risk them. I think #Harry's a unique one, to be fair, isn't he?
You can't not love him.
Yeah, Harry's an absolute
he's just
legend.
Funny.
Yeah.
That'd be my favorite part. Like, if I was to make an event, which is not going to happen, like I'm not going to go out there.
Believe in yourself,
say,
Felix. Believe.
Yeah, but let's also not kid ourselves.
This is the Felix has hit 28 and 2, 29 and 1 as well this year. By the way, boys, he is a solid player.
The chance that like you can hit 30 no's week in week out. The chance of you qualifying is so slim, just because of how different the qualifiers is, the atmosphere, the style of game you have to play, the caliber of players you come up against. It is so much more difficult than people think it is compared to weekend league.
Yeah.
So I don't think there is a realistic chance of me ever qualifying for one. But if I was to qualify, the theoretical scenario I was to qualify an event, literally my favorite thing about it would just be meeting everyone and going for a few drinks with Harry afterwards, because that just seems like great fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've touched on it. I mean, obviously you've played them. I'm verified from myself, but don't play in them. How do you find the FUT Champs qualification process of sitting there playing, the games on a Saturday, and the phase 1, phase 2 that they've introduced now?
Phase 1 and phase 2, the separation has definitely been an improvement in my opinion, to just kind of alleviate all of the problems that came with so many people playing. That what people are like. They're salty, they're overly competitive, they're childish, they're accusing each other of cheating for no apparent reason, they're trying to snake their way through and all that stuff, and then admins have to deal with it. It is a bit annoying. It takes loads of time. I remember the first ever qualifier I played in, we were supposed to play through, was it 8 rounds on the first day?
Yeah.
After 9 hours, we've played 5 rounds, and then they decided that's going to be it for today. We're just going to do the rest tomorrow. Can't be asked, because it just took so long for people to try and connect to each other, to play their games out, to sort out all the issues and complaints they had in the Battlefield kind of stuff, and admins didn't know anything about the game. Like, we had a full-blown 20-minute discussion about someone having Gareth Bale on the bench, who is 85 rated. You weren't allowed to have anyone over 84 rated on your bench. The admin just didn't clock what was going on. You said, look, there is only one player on the game named G Bale. Have a look who it is. There's all the websites you need. Have a look what his rating is, and then read the rules. Maybe you'll find something that doesn't quite add up there.
Yeah.
And they just did not know what's going on. And just the way they handle things when there is genuine issues, it's just so inconsistent and annoying. So one massive step towards improving the process would be to have admins that actually know what's going on,
Yeah.
that know the game, know it inside out, the entire process, and all that stuff.
They almost
There
need.
there was one admin. I thought it was hilarious. To be fair, loads of people got mad triggered at it. One of the admins in the Battlefire Discord chat literally promoted their Twitter whilst others were having an argument. Like, oh, just follow me there and we'll sort it out. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I found it hilarious because I
Yeah.
was knocked out at the time. I just was there to have a laugh. It's shambolic, to be fair. The format it just takes too long. They're umming and ahhing, but going back and forth. Do we use the servers? Do we use the friendly competition? There have been improvements this year,
Yeah.
in all fairness as well, but it's still far from ideal. Also, due to the fact that they've reduced the amount of spots that are there up for grabs to
Yeah.
qualify for an event. Last year it was 64 players per console. This year is only half of that.
Yeah. It's much harder.
Which obviously
being a
makes
pro
the
this year.
qualifying process longer as well, because you have to play extra rounds to get to the kind of round you need to be in to qualify.
Yeah, definitely. Whittle has just said, text literally said during the World Cup soon that no one enjoys playing the game, and even anyone can win, even worse players. Although because EA's golden boy won't get punished, so he liked Test, but he admitted that, and he got the special treatment. I don't necessarily think what he said is, it's not bannable. EA wouldn't have liked what Tech said. I mean, we did touch on this briefly earlier on. They wouldn't have liked it. I don't feel like anyone else, I don't think that's necessarily special treatment. I think they probably would have a word with him off stream, in a private room, and say, would appreciate if you don't do that. At the end of the day, you are our idol, let's say, and see how it, kind of goes. There would be a conversation there, definitely.
It might have happened. It might have happened that they said, just please don't do that on camera, man. Bad mouthing our game. We're not happy with that.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I don't think they can ban him for that, because he just respectfully. I think that is the key factor here. It was just his honest opinion without any swearing, insulting, all that sort of stuff. He just said, "Look, I think this is a bad game. Nobody really enjoys playing it." From listening to the people I talk to, it's just his opinion. So I don't think they'll ban him for that, or don't know. Also, it would be a really bad look if they banned their poster boy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't want to be doing that, would they? Definitely wouldn't want to be doing that. Boys, we are quickly going to take a quick break. I don't know if Felix wants to stay around for us. I'm going to go sprinkle the tinkle, drain the main vein. So what I will say, if you've got any questions, we'll kind of wrap it up. Questions about how to improve at FIFA, any questions in gameplay, or just anything in general. If you want to know if Felix has got a cat named Felix as well, I mean, you can ask something like that. Anything like that, just kind of get it.
I do not, just for the record, I do not. I do have a cat, but it's not named Felix.
Not named Felix. All right. Well, you're more than welcome to get him in the chat. We're just going to take a quick short break, go and grab another drink, that sort of thing. We'll be back in just a second. I will leave you with some music. I won't leave you with Felix's lovely voice, because I know that would annoy you. But let's get some questions in the chat, and we'll be back in a second.
Come on, man.